There's so many people who don't like sushi because they say, I'm not a huge fish fan. It doesn't matter, because today we're going to make sushi with Andy Lytle-Rich from Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters. And this is designed really for people who don't like fish very much.
It's really designed for people who don't like fish and also maybe don't like rice and are also maybe under the age of 10 and are going to school.
And kids who are excited about having fun with food. Describe to us what's in this before we start making it.
So what we have here is we have a whole grain, high fiber bread, and then we have a low-fat cream cheese with some seasoning, and then we have some great local vegetables.
This is a great way to really jazz it up, too.
Yeah.
I know people probably get sick of me talking about it on the show, but when I was a kid, I used to trade my school lunches.
Yep.
I don't know if you did that. If you bring something like that to the, if you had something like that, you would have made out like a bandit.
It would have been a much more successful trading for me.
Well, now we're informing future parents so that they can do a great job for their kids. How do we get started? All
right, so the first thing you do is you're going to take your bread, and again, when you buy your piece of bread, you want to make sure that it's not a really solid, dense bread, because we're going to have to roll it.
Floppy bread.
A floppy bread. Okay. A floppy bread, but you can still get some great high fiber whole grain breads that are floppy.
People are going to think you're really weird when you're squeezing every loaf of bread.
Yeah, I did that at the store. I was like,
yeah, like it's not a cantaloupe lady.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're going to cut the crust off.
Okay. Which you can use for croutons at a later date.
Exactly. So you're going to cut your crust off as close to the crust as possible, and you're going to have a nice little rectangular bread piece.
And that's instead of seaweed, and I think a lot of people at home are excited about that.
This is like our carbohydrate part.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, now what's next?
So then I've got some low-fat cream cheese that's been whipped. And it's nice to have it whipped because it's going to be so much easier to spread. Okay. Because usually when you have regular cream cheese, you're spreading it on a bagel, the bagel's like crusty, and so it doesn't. But this is nice soft pliable bread, so we're going to need some soft pliable cream cheese, and this has been mixed with Italian seasoning. But you could also use basil, you could do fresh herbs. I know at the beginning of the school year, the beginning of getting back into work, want some shortcuts, so I just use some Italian seasoning.
There you go. Nice move. We moved and did at the same time.
And so then you're going to put a nice layer on your bread, and you want to make sure that you get some of the cream cheese on the ends, because that's what we're going to use to seal it.
A healthy schmear.
A healthy schmear.
Yeah, that's when you go to our website, mymassappeal.com. That'll be exactly how much you're supposed to use.
Yes, and since it's fall, I have some fall foliage-colored vegetables.
And now, before we move to that, I'm excited because this doesn't smell like your average cream cheese.
No, this
has a secret ingredient.
This has Italian seasoning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some basil, some rosemary, parsley, all that good stuff.
Yep, you can do that, or you can just go buy Italian salad dressing seasoning.
Oh, the packet.
And use the packet.
That's the way to do it. All right,
and so we're going to want to have our vegetables the same length as our bread.
Very smart.
And then we're just going to put a few pieces. You don't need many. You can kind of, if you put too many in, it doesn't close. You can just always open it up and take it out.
Now you're using colors of the fall.
I am.
We're going to talk about fashion colors of the fall in just a few minutes.
Yes.
Are you keep taking notes for that one?
Yes, I've been taking notes, and I was psyched that my dish went right along with it.
You're on theme.
I'm on theme.
But people can use whatever they have.
You can use whatever you have. You could also use like peanut butter instead of cream cheese, and then use apples or bananas and a little bit of honey and make a dessert one.
And then put it in if you're going to get really fancy, put it in a little bento box.
Yes, you could definitely put it in a little bento box, or you just display it on a nice, beautiful plate.
Okay, shall we?
Here we go. So then we're going to roll.
This seems like the difficult part.
This is the difficult part. This is sometimes where you have to go back and take some vegetables out or put some vegetables in. But I think we got it.
Cinch it up real nice. All right.
Cinch it up. You can always spread a little bit of cream cheese.
You're using it like glue. That's great.
It is basically like glue. And then
cinch it up a little. Here we go.
Cinch it. Yep, exactly. That's why we got the great bread. And then you're just going to cut it using a knife. And there we go. Look at that.
Thank you so very much. Annie, always a pleasure to have you back. Come back sometime. How's that sound?
I will.
All right, perfect. If you want more information and if you want the details of this recipe, all you need to do is go to mymassappeal.com.